The serpentine St Michael line, discovered by Paul Broadhurst and Hamish Miller, which weaves its sinuous course round the straight St Michael line found by John Michell, and which was described in detail in the book The Sun and the Serpent, makes a double bend between the Wellington monument and St Nicholas Church, Corfe. However, between these two places, and seemingly on the line, is the powerful little church of St Michael and All Angels, Angersleigh, at the foot of the Blackdown Hills. The course of the Michael current is described in the book thus. As we approached the vast Wellington monument, floodlit against the bat-black sky, its power could be sensed, catching glimpses of its graceful shape through the rustling branches of the woodland path. It struck us as a particularly impressive remnant of ancestor worship, once so central in the ancient world. It was built as a memorial to the Duke of Wellington in 1817 by Thomas Lee Jr., and at 175 feet high is a dominating influence over the Blackdown Hills and the surrounding Somerset country. 235 stone steps inside lead up to the dizzy heights that make one feel a great respect for steeplejacks, but do nothing to make one emulate them. The positioning of this most impressive marker of the St Michael current, on its way across the countryside of southern Britain, must have been decided by someone who tacitly understood its existence. The only other explanation is that the landscape itself has an influence on the minds of those within it, which results in the building of geomantically potent structures, continuing a tradition that seems to go right back to the earliest times. November 15th, 1987. The Serpent hugged the northern slopes of the Blackdown Hills as we tracked down lanes resplendent in the deep golden colours of autumn. Sunlight struck glittering pools of metallic leaves hidden in the woodland twilight as we found ourselves sweeping right round the southern flank of Blagden Hill. This was a considerable departure from the rather gentle meanderings of late, and the curving route through Prior's Park Farm and Wood seemed to indicate its connection with the existence of an influential priory in medieval times. At the tiny village of Corfe, the exquisite neo-Norman church marks the flow. Inside, a powerful, almost electrically charged atmosphere envelops the visitor. The nearby church of St Michael in Orchard Portman is also on the current, which leads through Stoke St Mary and Angersleigh to the ancient site of Creech St Michael Church. St Michael and All Angels, Angersleigh, seems to be a lay centre, and the part of the sinuous line that passes through it is roughly coincident with a lay running to Corfe Church, running between a pair of yew trees in the churchyard. It goes through a crossroads southwest of Somerton, a small church in Drayton, Swell Court Farm and Chapel, Crimson Hill, Corfe Church, a multi-junction at Sellex Green, Angersleigh Church, and a mile-long coincident road with a crossroads south of Wellington Hill. Another lay comes up through Buckland St Mary Church, the famous Cathedral of the Blackdowns. It goes through a tumulus at Knight's Hill, south of Hinknall, Lewisden Hill, Laymore, a crossroads at Whatley, a multi-junction at Wadeford, Buckland St Mary Church, a crossroads and earthwork in Prior Park Wood, and Angersleigh Church. Another lay goes through Otterford Church, not far away. It comes northwest through a crossroads north of Lyme Regis, Membury Castle, Fort, Otterford Church, Angersleigh Church, a coincident track east of West Buckland, and Hill Farrants Church. Angersleigh parish is the smallest in Somerset, and was originally called just Leigh. The village stands on rising ground at the foot of the Blackdown Hills, on land then known as Leigh, given before 737 to the bishopric of of Winchester by Frethgoeth, wife of King Ethelherd. It was later called Angersleigh, as it was held by men doing knight service to the bishop. Then, when it came into the possession of John Anger in 1279, acquired its present name. Church Lane is part of an ancient road, and the church faces the north escarpment of the Blackdowns. There seems to be a mound with a small coniferous clump on it nearby. The church is dedicated to St. Michael the Archangel and dates from the early 12th century. It was given about 1115 by the Bishop of Winchester to Taunton Priory, who provided priests to serve it till around 1300. The nave walls are probably part of the original building. The present entrance is unusually at the west end, under the 14th century tower. This is because the original south entrance was converted into a vestry. The oldest feature of the church is the Norman font, now in the porch. The church also has some unusual features, with possible Grail associations of the kind described in the Holy Blood and the Holy Grail by Lincoln, Lee and Bagent, and incorporated into the novel The Da Vinci Code. One of the windows seems to be devoted to images concerned with the Jerusalem temple, including one of the Ark of the Covenant with a glowing blue light between the cherubim's wings. The east window is a crucifixion scene, but has an unusual depiction of Mary Magdalene, who is in the foreground and dressed in ermine like a queen, while Jesus' mother Mary seems to be more of a background figure. The window was put in by Arthur Edgell Eastwood in memory of his wife, who died in the early 20th century. Also in the porch is a copper relief depiction of Leonardo da Vinci's picture The Last Supper, which figures in the books as seemingly showing Mary Magdalene among the disciples, with Peter in a threatening pose. This picture is of Leonardo's original. The reredos in the church, under the east window, was designed by Frederick Bligh Bond, the architect and psychic archaeologist who found the Edgar and Loretto chapels at Glastonbury Abbey, following instructions apparently received by automatic writing from former monks at the Abbey. Bond also brought forward the concept of the Holy Grail as sang real, royal blood, as opposed to san greal, in his booklet The Vision of the Holy Grail, decades before Lincoln, Lee and Bagent did. In their book, sang real refers to a postulated royal bloodline from Jesus and Mary Magdalene, originally from King David. This would suggest that Jesus was the rightful king of Israel, as the notice on the cross suggests, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. The book suggests that Mary Magdalene is the Holy Grail, being the carrier of the royal bloodline.